Yesterday I committed to no longer using my body to garnish attention, and since then all I've really been able to think about is my life and the way that I've lived it and reflecting. And I really questioned what led me there, what led me to believe that my body was what needed to garnish attention, because for a very long time I felt like that was the most interesting part of me, is that I'm jacked. And I kind of forgot that there's a human being in here. When I was 9 years old, I had first been exposed to pornography. And when I was 13 years old, something really traumatic happened to me that I obviously can't discuss, but you can fill in the blanks. It has to do with the topic of everything that I'm talking about. And it's hard to believe that those circumstances didn't lead me down this path where hypersexualization and pornography and the impulse have consumed my life. And they really have, because as much as scrolling and anime and any other distraction I've ever used in the history of my life on planet Earth, as much as those things have pulled away from my ability to connect and to live, that one has really deeply seeded a bad weed in my heart that has not allowed me to truly feel like I'm living life, like feel like I'm connected with the people around me. See, I've always had friends and family and significant others that I knew I cared about, and I knew I loved in the ways that I could. But there was always a piece of me that couldn't get all the way there. Man, hypersexualization is so bad. It is such an evil. I can't think of a better analogy than, I think it's called a muse. It's the beautiful mermaid that sings to you, and you can only see half their body above water, but beneath the water is a terrible, ugly monster. And that is really what pornography and hypersexualization is in this world. And unfortunately, that's never going to go away. And there's never been a time greater than today to be tempted by those things. It's immediately available. It gives you an incredible amount of dopamine. But there's one thing that I know for certain, is that after this 30 days, I'm sure that I'll return to anime in some moderated fashion and to scrolling in some moderated fashion. But that is a part of the world that I want to stay away from. I am going to work as hard as possible to, I don't know if regain innocence is the correct terminology to use, because I don't think that's possible, but regain some humanity maybe, because that strips it away from you. I really genuinely pray for any man that's got himself just wrapped up and gripped by that shit, that you wake up and you realize that that beautiful mermaid you thought you were talking to is actually a really terrible monster that's going to drown you.